is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Good evening and welcome to the Elgin Owl Coaches Show here live for Burrito Mico as we are every Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday to everyone out there. Also be remiss if I didn't say Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. Thank you so much for your sacrifices and support of the greatest Army fighting war machine in the world. Happy Veterans Day to all those veterans out there. Very special day. But we're here to talk about the Elgin Owls and the first playoff push. Obviously got a big one this week against Bethany, but we'll recap some of that Battle of the Wichitas where the Owls finished the season again with the third straight undefeated regular season, third straight district title. Big night for all the seniors as well. It was senior night, so happy to have those guys out on the field. Did the walk after the game as well with all their parents. Always a good thing to see. And then got recognized, obviously, before the game as well. But like I said, big one on tap Friday for you against the Bethany Broncos as they come in here 5-5 for that first round of the playoff games. Really looking forward to that one. Got to have everybody at the nest on Friday to be loud and proud to get those Owls over the hump to move on to the second round. If we are able to get through the Bethany Broncos, we will play the winner of Ada and Fort Gibson. That game, if we are able to get by Bethany, would also be here as well. So we got a big one on tap for you tonight. We got offensive coordinator Adam Castro and also have the Deal brothers here with us as well as we recap the Battle of the Wichitas and preview that big one coming up. First round of the playoffs against the Bethany Broncos. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Elgin Owl Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
They say the best way to be a good neighbor is to know your neighbors and give a little help when they need it. And when you need a little, you can find help at Ace Hardware in Elgin. Not only do they offer everything from grills to flowers, paint, hardware, and tools, they offer experience to help guide you through the process. And they're happy to take the time to make sure you can do it right. Ace Hardware of Elgin. They're more than just a hardware store. They're your neighbors. Ace Hardware, 7796 Highway 277 in Elgin.
And welcome back here to Burrito Mico, where we are every Tuesday. I want to give a huge shout out to Miguel and his entire staff for allowing us all season to bring this show to you live from Elgin, America. We're happy about that, obviously. And this is a playoff edition. Obviously, the Owls finished the season 10-0 with a big victory over the Cache Bulldogs on Friday night, 47-7. That's the Elgin Owls' fifth straight win over what potentially could be the last Battle of the Wichitas. Hopefully, those schools can get together and continue that rivalry going if we do move into different districts. But like I said, we won the last one 47-7. That's 5 in a row. Big night by all the seniors, obviously recognized before the game. But all the seniors, congratulations to that class. They're going to leave Elgin Owl football as the winningest senior class in Elgin Owl football history. Currently, they are 43-4 in their 4 years career. 24 straight victories. Like I said, the numbers are absolutely crazy. You got 3 straight undefeated regular seasons, 3 straight district titles, 4 straight playoff appearances. So everything is really rolling for the Owls right now. Congratulations to those seniors. They will be missed, but obviously they're hoping that they have another 4 games at least there in the Owl uniform. So looking forward to those guys. We're going to touch on the Battle of the Wichitas with Coach Adam Castro here in a little bit, but big game by a lot of the players on the team this week. Obviously 47-7. Defense had another outstanding night. Only gave up that 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown was after an errant snap. Cash got the ball on the 3-yard line, was able to punch it in on 3rd down. So that was the 1 score. We're coming into this one, had 3 straight shutouts, but gave up that 1 touchdown there, like I said, but on a short field, so the defense is continuing to play well. Offense is playing well as well. Caden finished the game 10 for 15 for 211 yards and 2 touchdowns and an unbelievable 50-something yard run there as well for his 3rd touchdown. He's doing great on the season, completing almost 70% of his passes for 1,827 yards, 21 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. So doing a great job of not only leading the offense, but also doing a good job of taking care of the ball with only that 1 interception. Also has 175 yards rushing on the year as well, with 3 touchdowns there as well. Ritzenmeyer, obviously another great game, another 3 touchdowns. That gives him 33 touchdowns on the year, also 90 in his career. So only 10 away from that potential 100 touchdown mark, which is just a phenomenal thing to even think about. But like I said, has over 1,000 yards rushing on the year. Also has about 250 yards receiving as well. So doing a great job both not only in the backfield, but out in the backfield as well from the catching perspective. Tiny finished the game with 75 rushing yards, 462 yards on the season, and 5 total touchdowns. Brody had 2 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. That gave him 35 catches on the year for 680 yards. 8 touchdowns receiving, but has 10 total touchdowns. Has also a rushing touchdown, but also that kick return against one of those teams as well. And also has 1 interception on the defensive side of the ball. Ritson leading tied for the team lead with 2 interceptions as well. Kaysen Meyer with a huge offense and defensive game. Had 5 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown. Also had a big interception there in the first half. So great job by Kaysen overall, both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball there as well. Like I said, great job by the defense all year long, only giving up 7 points a game. Offense is scoring 49 points a game. So really clicking right now as we move forward into that playoff push. Got to get a little bit better, got to clean some things up, obviously, from the penalty perspective and some pre-snap things related to the snaps and things like that. But after all, we're playing some good football right now, and hopefully we got 4 weeks left to go as we move into the first round of the playoffs against a good Bethany team. Bethany finished 4th in that district, in Tuttle's district, so they will come here and play us this week. Played them a little bit early in the season in one of those scrimmages, kind of evenly matched game. We're a lot better than where we were at that point in the season. Obviously, Bethany has gotten a lot better as well, so it's going to be an interesting matchup for us, but we need everyone there Friday night, if you can, at the Nest to be loud and proud, as only Elgin Owl fans can be. We'll also have all the action for you live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll start our pregame show at 6:30 with kickoff there set for 7. So after this break, we'll be with offensive coordinator Adam Castro and talking a little bit about the Battle of the Wichitas and then previewing that big game against Bethany coming up. So after this break, we'll have Adam Castro on right here with me. You're watching the Elgin Owl Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Through life's trials, Liberty National Bank has been with you all the way, listening, embracing your goals, working together with you to build the business you want or the life you want. We've supported our neighbors and local businesses for over a century, always putting people first. For you, we are in the banking business. For you, we're here. Liberty National Bank, with you all the way.
celebrating 10 years. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
And we're back here at Burrito Miko for this Taco Tuesday. We got Coach Adam, offense coordinator Coach Adam Castro with me currently. Coach, great job on the victory, obviously, against the heated rival Cash Bulldogs, 47-7. Fifth victory in a row over the Cash Bulldogs. Let's kind of what you saw from the coach's perspective, kind of review the game a little for us, and then we'll kind of get into some players of the game and things like that.
Yeah, it's obviously a really fun game. You know, it's been a rivalry for a long time. Being from Lawton, you always heard about it. They used to play it at Cameron. It's always been a really big deal. It's kind of a shame we're not going to play the game anymore. But, you know, kids came out and played really well. I think offensively we came out and scored on all but 2 possessions in the first half. And, you know, one of them just a self-inflicting wound that if we didn't have, we shut them out. And so I feel bad about that for Coach Baker. He deserves that shutout. He prepares for him. I mean, I think he shut them out 3 of the 4 times we played them if we would have had one Friday night.
Right.
But, you know, it was a good performance overall. Quarterback played well. Offensive line played well. You know, had some new guys step in and do some good things for us. Obviously, Ritson and Braxton had great runs as well. So, overall, I think it was great springboard going into the postseason.
Talk a little bit about Caden, obviously completing 70% of his passes on the season. But talk about, like I said, the way he's progressed from week 0 all the way to where we are now.
You know, whenever he took off, we were calling a shot play, and he didn't love it, so he tucked the ball down, scrambled out right, then reverse field back left and goes and scores from 58 yards out. And I just was speechless, man. It was unbelievable that and he's just such a playmaker. You know, he's a baller at the end of the day. Fearless, great leader for us. You know, and you know we're not just throwing, we're not just tossing the jet. We're not just throwing the bubble. Like he's completing 70% of the passes, and we're throwing the ball downfield pretty often. So he's an excellent football player for us, and he's got a lot of room to grow, but he has grown a ton as well. So we're really excited about him and seeing him continue to grow during the postseason and continue to lead us where we want to go.
Obviously, 21 touchdowns on the season, only 1 interception. I mean, talk about how that ball security really helps the offense out, obviously, because and also helps the defense out as well, because you're not putting them in bad situations. Yeah,
you know, that's a huge deal. Like, we trust his decision making. He's protected the ball really well. Like you said, 1 interception, I think 1 fumble on the year from him. So that's through 10 games, that's pretty good percentage. You know, he knows where the ball is supposed to go. When we call play, he understands what we're looking for. And, you know, that was one of the best things about Trace last year was he understood exactly what we wanted out of play call. And you know, Caden's the same way. Yeah. And it's been a great deal. And him sitting behind Trace those couple of years, you can tell that Trace groomed him, and, you know, he's been coached, and he's performing at a high level. And with that, I mean, in him protecting the football and all these things and being able to throw the ball downfield, it opens up our run game. You know, like if you go too high against us, we're going to hand it off to the big man, and he's going to go get yards, and it's going to be really tough to stop us. And whenever you go one high, Caden can really pick you apart. And so it's a lot of fun right now for us. And a lot of it starts with Caden and ball security from the backs and all these guys, and blocking well on the edge and winning up front. And right now that's what we're doing.
Obviously, 3 guys in the backfield, Caden, Tiny, and Ritson had well over 50 yards. Tiny had about 75. Ritson had over 100. Like I said, with that long run, Caden also had 60-something yards. But everything, obviously, the only way for those guys to do that is the guys up front. So talk a little bit about your O-line and how they've been progressing throughout the year.
You know, it's been a really fun group to watch grow. You know, I'm sure going into the year, we're losing those awesome kids last year. You know, our 2 college football player tight ends, our 2 Division I tackles, and our stud left guard who's a Division I player as well. You know, it was probably a lot of pressure put on them, but you know, they don't have to be those guys, and who they are is just as good. You know, it looks different, but they're performing at a high level. We're grading out really well. The cohesion's really, really good. They love each other. They play hard together. They understand kind of the nuances of what they expect from one another throughout a play, throughout a combination, throughout pass protection, all those things. And they're gelling really well right now, and it's really exciting to see.
Talk a little bit about the defense as well. I know you're the offensive coordinator, but obviously 3 weeks in a row, you know, give up no points. Give up 7 this week, but on a short field. We kind of talked a little bit about it. Got the ball on the 3-yard line. Still took them 3 downs to get it in there. Talk about, though, from an offensive perspective as the offensive coordinator, how that kind of frees your play calling up and things like that because of the defense is so good.
Yeah, exactly. You know, our defense has 4 shutouts in a row. That was the offense that gave up those 7 points. So our defense has 4 shutouts in a row. Coach Baker, and everybody knows, does an incredible job with preparation, the way he coaches those kids, and the things that matter to them. You know, flying to the football, being relentless, the effort, all those things. You know, sometimes guys can get wrapped up in, I need to have so many different packages, so many different this, that, whatever. And you know, just the structure of the defense that he has and how it's taught and how it's coached and how it progresses. It's really, really fun to see, and it makes me better preparing, and, you know, also just having to go against him in the spring and all these things. It makes all of us better. Our defense right now, just up front, they're playing really, really well. Tucker's playing great football.
Yeah.
He's a weapon. You know, Big T in the middle. You know, Hudson's really, really coming along as well. And you're going to talk to Jackson Deal and Jake Deal. They're playing well in the middle there. Kaysen has really took on this leadership role of and he's doing things without really having to be coached to do it. You know, he's kind of in the mind of Coach Baker. And then, you know, obviously in the back end we're pretty special. You know, we got Brody, 4-year starter, Bryce, who's just about as talented as anyone out there.
Right.
And then you got John Lohman, who's really coming on. And then obviously Corday, who can do some freaky things on the field.
Right.
And he was the defensive player of the game. So, you know, defensively we're rock solid, and it does allow us to be a little aggressive and allow us to do things that maybe some other teams don't have the luxury to do because of how well they're coached and how well they're playing.
Senior night, obviously. So talk a little bit about what the senior class has done and the things, like they said, that they mean to this program. 43-4 so far. Hopefully, obviously, they want to finish 47-4. But 43-4 in the last. So I mean, looking at the numbers, just crazy. I mean, they won 36 of the last 37 football games. Yeah. I mean, just talk about this senior class. Like I said, they're going to go down. Right now, maybe next year's class will get them, but right now they're going to go down as the most winningest senior class in Elgin high school football history.
You know, as 7th graders, they were undefeated, and they had a really good team there. And then 8th grade, they kind of had some bumps in the road, but overall they continued to develop and grow. And now you can see what they've done in high school. You know, and they started in 5A too. They had 2 years of 5A, and now we're in 4A. And you know, they've been exceptional for our program. They're really, really talented. They're bought into what we do. They believe in the message, and they themselves deliver that message to the rest of the team. You know, it's really highlighted by, you know, the 2 big guys of Ritson and Brody there, you know, but also you got guys like Bryce, who's really brought people along. And, you know, you got big C.J. Devine, who's really helped this offensive line really go and has really came out of his shell this last 8 or so months and has really had a phenomenal senior year and doing so much for us. And then, you know, Cameron Hollifer, who didn't play as a 9th grader, came out as a sophomore, continued to develop, continued to work, and now he's just about as rock solid as any player we got, you know, offensively and defensively. So, you know, we've got a ton of leadership there and a ton of guys that just love one another and they're excited to go play hopefully 4 more games if possible. And then, you know, even a guy like Lucas Young comes out, played in middle school, came back out, and has had a great year for us, a big weapon for us in the passing game, really become a physical blocker. And so you're right, it's a really special group that shouldn't be forgotten anytime soon.
Brody, talking about Brody, I think it's week 2 maybe of the playoffs. If we can get by Bethany, we'll have the most starts in Elgin high school football history as well. Hudson's close on his tail.
Yeah.
If he can get some snaps in next year and stay injury free. Talk a little bit about Ritson though. Like I said, at the end of the cash game, moved in the second leading rusher all time, only behind Matt Lund now, past Kwame Tate. But just talk about the career that he's had. Obviously, we want to see that continue in the next 4 weeks, but talk about the career he's had. I mean, we were talking about it the other day. I mean, 90 touchdowns and still potentially has some more games to go. I mean, talk about how special he is, what he means to the program.
Well, whatever I'm going to say is going to fall short of what he is. You know what I mean? He's an exceptional football player, a really, really fun kid. He's grown a ton emotionally, mentally, physically throughout the last 4 years. It's been a joy to coach him. You know, I'm sure other teams probably can't stand him, but he's ours, and we love him, and he has more fun than anybody out there. And that's one of the things we talk about is be the most excited to play the game, and that's Ritson Meyer. Yeah. He loves playing football. He loves competing. He's probably the most fierce competitor I've ever coached, and you can see that he just doesn't lose. He told me he has the Midas touch because everything he touches is gold. So and you can only believe that if you know Ritson, you know. So
that would not shock me one bit that he made that comment.
He's just a special kid with a special group around him for the last couple of years as well. And thank you, Booty and Jen Meyer, for having that boy.
Let's talk a little bit players of the game. We talked about him earlier in the show. Offensive player of the game, Caden Bolletto. What did the coaches see out of him this week that made him that offensive player of the game?
Just his dynamic ability. He put the ball on the money, threw a great post to Brody. He
throw to Kaysen too.
The throw to Kaysen was incredible. Kaysen's snag was incredible on that play as well. That's probably the most excited I've got on a play all season long. It was just really fun to see. He's putting the ball on the money. And like we said earlier, he tucked it and ran it for 58 yards on one play. And that was a really special play that I've not seen from our offense in a long, long time. So that was a really great deal. And we just trust that kid, and he needs to be highlighted there. And we've got his back, and he knows he's got ours. So he was definitely Offensive Player of the Week.
Defense player of the week, we got Corday Ritchie. Obviously, struggled a little against Clinton. I mean, it's hard to struggle on the defense side of the ball when you don't give up any points, but maybe struggled a little bit on a few plays here and there. So early in the game, they tried to kind of pick on him a little, but did a great job. Did a great job throughout the night. So talk a little bit about him and like I said, what you guys saw from him to make him the defensive player of the game.
Just like you said, against Clinton, they kind of went after him a little bit, and he didn't have just an exceptional performance. He didn't play bad whatsoever, but he was definitely a point of emphasis for Clinton going after him, and then obviously Cash saw that on film and went after him as well, and he rose up to the test, and he played really well, and he deflected some balls, made some really special plays, and he was great for us. And you can be a lockdown corner there, and then you got to go try Bryce, who's got tons of interceptions in his career. So that makes it really hard for a play caller. I know that. So.
Right. Well, I mean, Corday's kind of, like I said, kind of gotten in a little bit of an issue this year because so many teams pick on him because Bryce is so good.
Right.
I mean, last week I don't think they tried Bryce at all. So Corday's going to get a lot of shots over there, but just done a good job all year kind of holding up with that stuff. Special teams, Brody Donnelly obviously had a good game there.
I think the second week in a row. Is that correct?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know he has been named Special Teams Player of the Week before.
He's flying down on kickoff, making some really remarkable plays. And again, if you are on kickoff team, Coach Baker's going to either love you or hate you. Right now, he loves Brody Donnelly because he's getting good tackles on kickoff and making sure that they have bad field position going into the game or going into the drive. And talented kid. Probably starts on every team we've played against this year. But he plays a great role for us offensively and defensively. We can trust him out there at tight end. We can trust him at inside linebacker. He's played a lot of football for us this year, and the best is yet to come for him.
Talk a little bit, like I said, now that we kind of got Brody here and we got Jake Deal coming up later on, talk a little bit about how their emergence at that middle linebacker is going to help us in the playoffs, obviously, because Richardson had – at this point, Richardson's kind of only played a half of ball for all 10 games, just about. So talk about how their emergence is getting better at that in that inside linebacker will allow us to kind of ride Richardson a little bit more on the offensive side. Yeah,
and I think you see that with great teams that whenever you get into the postseason and you've got to have more guys step up and develop, and they've done that throughout the year. And now there's not going to be much drop-off whenever we have to rest somebody on either at tight end or at linebacker for those two guys to step up and play. Jake plays a ton of tight end for us. He probably has – him or Lucas are probably really close to the most snaps at tight end for us on the year, and so Jake's played really, really well there, and then both Brody and Jake have played a ton of linebacker inside for us, especially when we've gone a couple of different looks against some of the power run teams where you had a third linebacker in there, and they've both played really well. And we're going to, you got to have depth going into the postseason, and right there we're pretty solid.
Obviously, sharpen your axe. Kaysen, what a game he had. 5 catches, 110 yards on the offensive side of the ball with a touchdown. Then also had the huge interception there in the first half. Talk a little bit about him and why you guys obviously had a great game on both sides of the ball, and that's kind of the epitome of that sharpen your axe award. But talk a little bit about him and how much he's come along, obviously, being that quarterback of the defense.
Overall throughout the game, 6 catches, including the interception, got his hand on the football quite a bit. Just that the first little sucker pass to him, man, that was beautiful. He just reached out there, late hand, snagged it out of the air, and kept running, showed some really good speed there. And then
tuck it away, though.
Yeah.
Tuck it away.
Yeah.
Yes. Had it out there with one hand.
I'm with you, 100%. I'm trying to highlight him here. But, he had an awesome game defensively. He flies the football. He's got a great nose for the ball. He had a couple tackle for losses, and he's really fun to watch play. He's excited to play. He's dynamic. He's just a little guy, and he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's dynamic defensively. He gets to the football, and he leads that. He runs the show.
Yeah.
He runs the show. He knows where everybody's supposed to be. Really, really cerebral player, and we're lucky to have him.
And then last but not least, I know this was one that's dear to your heart, Rough Rider of the Week, Jackson Deal.
Yeah, and you're about to talk to him.
Yeah.
He graded 89. I think is the highest grade in his career. Played really well, and he played multiple positions for us on Friday night on the offensive line. And the thing that I really like the most about Jackson is that this means a whole lot to him.
Yeah.
This program means a lot to him. Our unit means a lot to him. Our performance means a lot to him. Winning games means a lot to him. His teammates mean a lot to him. So, that's something I want to highlight and continue to celebrate. So, not only his great performance, but who he is. Jackson's definitely the epitome of a Rough Rider.
Talk a little bit about him and Hud. I mean, obviously being able to slide up and down that line. Hud's played pretty much every position along the offensive line at some point during his career. Jackson's kind of in that same boat now. Talk about how having those versatile linemen can really help the offense out.
It's huge because, like we talked about depth, we have some good depth on the offensive line, and those guys make it even deeper, even though they're just one body. But Hudson can play all five. Jackson can play all five. Cameron has played all five. So it's really cool to have those guys to be able to move around and be able to pick and pluck guys here and there and sort them out. But they're both just really, really smart players. They understand the concept of what we're doing in the run game and understand the ins and outs of the passing game and pass protection as well. So it's really cool to see them develop and grow and do those things and understand where they're weak in areas and focus on those things and continuing to sharpen their axe in the areas that they're really good at. But also, not only that, they're bringing these other guys along. They're coaches on the field, they're coaches at practice, and they do a great job for us. And they're kind of like the heartbeat of our program, guys like that. And we don't have the success we do without guys like them. And so, Hudson, all of these guys, Hudson, CJ, Cam, Jackson, they're all bringing people along, and it's really, really fun.
Obviously, we've been a lot. Not that last year we weren't balanced, but last year we were probably more run heavy than we were. This year, obviously, we've got 2,600 yards rushing and then 1,900 yards passing. As a play caller, talk a little bit about how kind of keeping that balance and how that helps out, like I said, as we move forward into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think we kind of learned our lesson a couple of years ago, our last year in 5A, and Coach White talks about it all the time. I think we got a little too focused on our opponent and pouring everything into them rather than checking ourselves. So last year, for the first time throughout the year, we self-scouted every week. And, sometimes that falls low on the priority list because you got to worry about your opponent, worry about your opponent. But we've done a great job reflecting and looking inside our own program, inside our own offense, seeing our own tendencies, seeing formation tendencies, field boundary, strong, weak, all these things, and then addressing those. And when we get in advantageous positions, we can kind of break tendency and things like that. And so, like you said, we have the ability to do a lot of different things. I think I don't know the percentages on the top of my head from last year, but I do think we're probably more multiple this year.
Yeah.
We're getting in empty, we're getting in too tight, we're getting in. We got an injury the other week. We can do a lot of different things and score points with a lot of different guys. Casey can score, Joey can score, Brody can score, Ritson scored a ton, Tiny can score. We have 5 tight ends that can get the ball and go score. So it's a lot of fun to be a part of the offense, and a lot of what we talked about with Jack and how he structures things, I've tried to do the same offensively on how we can teach so the guys can be in multiple spots and understand that even though I might play this position, my route might be different in a different formation. And just some teachings like that, it really helps us be multiple and not so where our hands aren't tied.
Right. Well, that's a good deal. Like I said, at the end of the day, 47-7 victory, another undefeated regular season. So, and when we come back after the break, we're going to talk a little bit about the Bethany Broncos and what the Elgin Owls have to do to move forward in that one. So, you're watching the Elgin Owl Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And we're back here at Burrito Miko. I want to give a huge shout out to Miguel and his entire staff for allowing us to have this show for you here in Elgin. Obviously, playoff football is on the way. Winner go home time. Obviously, got a big opponent this week against the Bethany Broncos. Talk a little bit about Bethany. Obviously, we played them in the scrimmage earlier in the year, them and Guthrie. But talk a little bit about what you've seen from the Bethany Broncos so far, and what should our viewers expect to see in the game on Friday.
Bethany's a really well-coached team.
Yeah.
They're really good. They've got a ton of really good players that can make a lot of plays. We struggled with them in our scrimmage, so they gave us all that we wanted, and they're really talented. Defensively, they're predominantly too high, four-man front, and they fly to the football and they play really hard. You can tell in the back end they communicate really well, and they give you multiple looks. So they're difficult to prepare for because they they have the opportunity and the ability to disguise looks and to move fronts and do things like that. They can jump into a three-man front at any time, four-man front, and they're really, really good. So it's going to be a big challenge for us to be able to move the football, win the line of scrimmage, protect the football, and see if we can't get this thing done. Offensively, they got a big tight end, a mobile quarterback, good offensive line. They have good size, and a couple of skill kids that can really get the ball in their hands and make people miss. So, again, defensively, same as that ever was. You just pursue the football, tackle well, try to take that ball away, and that's kind of what we do. And just preparing for it all, we got our hands full.
I know you guys do a great job. Kind of like I said, next week is kind of the next man up, and next week, things like that. But I mean, now obviously playoffs is upon us. Kind of somewhat breeze through the regular season. Is there anything different that you guys do as a staff, or through practice or anything like that now that it's playoff time, or is the standard still the standard and that's what you continue to work towards?
Coach Hill always says, "Dance with the girl that brought you here." So continue to be us and do what we do and practice the way we practice and continue to try to get better. It's not all right. Hey, we went 10-0. Let's just be stagnant. No, we got room to grow. Yeah. Today we are not good enough to win the state championship. So we've got to continue to stack days, and these days matter. And if we don't, then we're not going to achieve the goals that we're set out to achieve. But if we continue to work and do the things right and continue to grow and have a hungry mindset, then we'll be all right. And we're excited for it's do or die. So playoff game at home at the Nest. Hopefully it's really loud. Come out, support. Bring the BB
shakers and whatnot,
and all that stuff. So it'll help us win there, and we're really excited.
Talk a little. So since you kind of touched on that, let's piggyback a little bit off of that. Talk about what that crowd means. I mean, obviously it's playoff football now, and everybody's excited about it. But talk a little bit about how awesome it is in the Nest on Friday. And I know we're up in the booth kind of together, and we kind of see everybody in front of us. We'll talk about how awesome of an experience it is to have the fans like we do.
It's every Friday night, but especially in the playoffs, and there's just a little bit more chill in the air, and there's a little bit more. You can feel something different just on your body and your heart and running through your blood, and it's special, man. What our fans bring and what Elgin is, the community, the stands, the band, the cheer, the palm, all the things. Our kids, our staff, what you guys do for us at OSN. Pizza Corral, Burrito Mico, all these people that pour and love into us, and then we get to see everybody's a part of it on Friday night.
Yeah.
It's not the high school football team's game, it's our game.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of stuff that make you fall in love with football.
Well said by a Lawton boy. Talk a little bit. Obviously, you said a few minutes ago that we're not good enough right now to win the state title. But talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys need to improve as we move forward, hopefully, to that December 13th game.
Speaking offensively, there's been a couple times where we get a couple leads, a somewhat comfortable lead. We get on plus side of the field, and we get a little stagnant. And that's unacceptable, and it's not tolerated. So those are things that we're going to have to address and get better at as well. So, just assignment, effort, technique, and physicality. Those are 4 things that you got to approach with every day and try to sharpen your axe on. And but a more detailed answer would probably be not getting stagnant when you get on the plus side of the field and being able to have your little things here and there that can get you a little cheap yards. And that's something that's going to help us offensively be able to put points on the board. Defensively, they're playing great. I think overall being able to withstand the consistency. It can be challenging for anyone, but especially high school children, to get a little complacent and all that. But we've got to continue to have hunger. And I know one thing, Coach Baker's not going to let that standard fall. So I really like where we're at with our ability to grow.
I know we're only 2 days into practice so far this week and got 2 more days to kind of get prepared up for Bethany. But have you seen a different look in the boys' eyes or anything like that? Obviously, they know, we knew that we were probably going to get in the playoffs. And then after about week 5 or 6, we kind of knew that we were very likely going to win the district. So have you seen like a different look or anything like that? Or
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a different look in their eye. I think there's a different focus and attention to detail. And I really do think that just the kids want this bad, just like all high school kids do. I mean, it's a special time in their life, and it's really amped up throughout the week, and you can feel it. You can see it in their eye, but you can definitely feel it, especially coaching them during individual. And then when you take it to group work, you can kind of feel a more sense of urgency of, wanting to execute at a high level. But even when mistakes happen, it's not a blow up. It's okay, we can learn and adapt and grow. So it's I think for sure you can see and feel a little bit different with these kids.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great regular season. Obviously, the work is not done. Hopefully, we got 4 more weeks of these shows with you guys, so that way that means we're playing through Thanksgiving. Yep. It's always fun to be playing through Thanksgiving, obviously, and hopefully we can make it on to that Saturday night at UCO again this year. So congratulations on a great year. Continue to do the things that you're doing as far as the play caller goes, and wish you guys luck on Friday.
Appreciate it. Show up. Be loud.
Absolutely. Hey, you're watching the Elgin Owl Coaches Show. After this break, we'll have the Deal Brothers on here. So you're watching the Elgin Owl Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And welcome back to Burrito Miko. I am joined now by the Deal Brothers, twin brothers. Fat Deal, Little Deal, is that affectionately known as, huh? Sorry about that, Jackson, but hey, it's said in the locker room every now and then, so, it's a term of endearment, though, brother, okay? Jake, we've had you on before, so I'm going to start with Jackson. Jackson, talk a little bit, congratulations on being the Rough Rider of the Week. Talk a little bit about kind of what that honor means, being that Rough Rider of the Week.
Yeah, just to know that you did good, as a unit, it's great, but to do the best out of that unit, it's something else, to get that title.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about playing offensive line. Obviously, you guys sometimes are kind of like the unsung heroes. Nobody really knows who you are until you do bad, unfortunately. But talk about how, like I said, kind of taking that step back and being an offensive line and kind of the unit that you guys and the brotherhood that you guys have up front.
Yeah, it's very important. It's like without us, a lot of things wouldn't happen. We can't run the ball without the offensive line.
Right.
We can't protect the quarterback without the offensive line. It's just one of those things where you're not going to get recognized. Once you figure that out, once you know that, it'll be a lot easier, it'll be a lot better.
Jake, sorry about that. Jake, let's talk a little bit, like obviously you play tight end, so you're kind of part of that Rough Rider group as well. Talk about how, like I said, you guys as tight ends, there's 5 of y'all that rotate a lot. You and Lucas kind of get the most snaps there. But talk about, like I said, those 5 guys and how you guys work interchangeably and things like that.
It's just we do what we can. Like Lucas and Tucker are better at some things, and I'm better at some things. So we just try to make the best combination to win.
How's it, like I said, how is it playing with your twin brother? I mean, is there a time during the game like you kind of look over and see him and you're like, oh yeah? I mean, kind of talk a little bit about that. We obviously got multiple brothers on the team.
Yeah.
We got a couple sets of brothers. We got the Myers, the Phillips twins. So talk a little bit about, like I said, not only just the brotherhood of the camaraderie of the entire team, but also having your twin on the team with you.
I mean, it's really cool. I think my favorite thing is when we pull together. That's always fun. I get to mess with him a little bit and be like, hey man, you gotta get that guy better, or like take him out, or just messing with him. It's pretty fun.
Jackson, I'm gonna ask you this: who's the better athlete out of you two?
Definitely me.
Okay, that's what I figured. Jake, same question for you.
It's definitely me. Yeah, it's not him. Yeah.
So you guys obviously have always played together and things like that. I mean, have you guys ever like played next to each other? I mean, other than the tight end and guard situation, have you guys played linebacker together, anything like that as growing up?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, we've always been pretty separate.
Okay. Jake, you obviously also do the band thing as well. Talk a little bit about that at halftime, having to kind of get out of the pads and get what instrument do you play?
Trombone.
Okay, so talk a little bit about kind of what goes into that and how you're able to kind of max your time out with both practice, with both band practice and football practice.
It's fun. You just gotta make sure you get enough of this and get enough of that, and just make sure you're getting everything that you can get done.
As we walk into, and this is for either of you guys, as we walk into the playoffs, obviously, we've done a great job throughout the season and finished the 3rd regular season in a row undefeated. Is there a different intensity in the locker room or whatnot, knowing now that it's playoff time?
Yeah, I'd agree so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jackson, kind of, from the offensive line perspective and things like that, I mean, have you seen kind of a change in the focus of the coaches and the entire team?
Yeah, 100%. Everything's tuned up just a little bit, Everything's taken a little more seriously, a little more hard.
Okay. So, Jake, I think we asked you this last week for hours that did, not last week, but a couple weeks ago whenever you were on the show. Going to ask it again. What's your favorite subject in school? Did it change?
What did I say? I can't remember.
I don't remember what you said last time. So we'll have to get the replay out and see if you've changed over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, it's probably computer apps.
Okay,
yeah.
Computer apps.
Yeah.
Jackson, same question for you.
Probably history.
History. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I know that there's an older brother. Do we have any sisters involved? Or is it all deal boys?
All boys.
Okay, so we usually ask this question every week. So this is kind of hypothetical for you guys because there's no sisters involved. But we ask this every week. So, Jake, I'll start with you. If there's one person on the team that you would not let date your hypothetical sister, who would that be?
Well, it would either be Jackson or Tucker New. I wouldn't let them date.
You wouldn't let well, I would hope your brother wouldn't date your sister, but that's a whole other story. We're in Oklahoma, not Arkansas, but we can talk about that. Jackson, same question for you.
Well, I was gonna say Jake, but probably either Jake or Hudson.
Jake or Hudson. Okay, I got you. So, guys, talk a little bit, like I said, you guys are juniors. Obviously, last week was senior night. Talk about what that senior class means to you guys and the leadership that they provided throughout the season.
It means a lot to me because those are, like, we had the seniors when we were freshmen and sophomores, and they were really big. But this class, they're closer to us.
Yeah.
It's just we have a tighter connection with them.
Okay. Jackson, kind of the same question for you.
Kind of like Jake said, this class is just kind of closer. We were touching grades, so we've always known these guys, and just always played with them.
Gotcha. Well, guys, congratulations on the great regular season. Look forward to watching you guys in the playoffs, and wish you all the best of luck. And we'll be there to cheer you on and bring all the live action to you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Congratulations again, guys. We'll be right back after this break. You're watching the Elgin Owl Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Y'all should be able to hear me. All right. So, hey, we're back here at Burrito Miko as we are every Tuesday night. Taco Tuesday here from Burrito Miko. Want to thank everybody for watching throughout the season. Obviously, we've got a big one on tap this week. First round of the playoffs against the Bethany Broncos. There, we'll have all the action live for your pregame show. Starts at 6:30. Game will kickoff is set for 7. So we're really looking forward to this one. Need everybody there in the nest to get really loud and rowdy. This is playoff football. So win or go home. Obviously, if we can get by this one, we will face the winner of Fort Gibson and Ada. That one is set for Friday at 7 o'clock as well. So we'll keep up with that score throughout the night for you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. But as always, I want to thank Miguel and everybody here at Burrito Miko. I want to thank offensive coordinator Adam Castro, and also want to thank the Deal Brothers for joining me on the show tonight. And as always, thanks for watching the Elgin Owl Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.